Welcome to today's video. In today's video, we're going to take a look at part 2 of the purchase order transaction processing. If you missed out on part 1, please be sure to check it out on the description below. It will help you to understand part 2 better. With that said, this is what part 2 will include. This tutorial will include the following: enable preferred suppliers against a stock code, processing purchase orders with preferred suppliers, receipting in all lines of a purchase order, receipting in a single line of a purchase order, canceling a single line on a purchase order, receipting a single quantity on a multiple purchase order line, and lastly, reversing a purchase order receipt. In SYSPRO, you are able to select a preferred supplier for certain stock codes. This means that in your requisition entry program, the supplier will automatically be selected for the chosen stock codes. Now let's start. So we're going to go to inventory, and we're going to go to setup, and we're going to go to stock codes. So here we're going to enter the stock code. So for example, A100, and we're going to tap off. So we're going to come here in the replenishment pane. Right here under purchasing, you'll see use preferred supplier, and we're going to take that box. So as you can see, the primary supplier for this stock code is supplier number 1. This is the supplier you usually purchase this specific stock code from. This means that when you do your requisition entry, once you enter this stock code, this specific supplier will then populate on that requisition. So now that we have ticked the box, use preferred supplier, we're going to save our changes. And that's it, and we're going to close the program. Now let's process a purchase order with a preferred supplier. So we're going to go to purchase orders, and we're going to go to purchase order processing, and we're going to come here to purchase order entry. Okay, and we're going to come here to add lines, right? And here we're going to enter the stock code right here. So the stock code is A100. I'm going to tap off. As you can see, the supplier for stock code A100 screen pops up with our preferred supplier, and we accept. And everything now is populated on the screen with the preferred supplier. And we're going to continue with our purchase order, and we're going to enter the quantity. Let's say 10. I'm going to tap off, and we're going to save. And we're going to say OK. And we're going to end the purchase order. Again, here you have the option to print the order, continue with the order. In this example, we're going to end the order. We're going to close this program. And I'm going to say close. So let's start. So we're going to go to purchase orders, and we're going to go to purchase order processing, and we're going to go to purchase order receipts. Here it's telling me that my company date and my computer date are different. Selecting no, we'll use the computer date. Let's use the computer date. Okay, so here we're going to enter the purchase order. The purchase order we're going to enter is 404, and we're going to tap off. Okay, and here we're going to say OK. And there are our line items. So in this purchase order, we're going to receipt the whole order. When you're receipting a single line, you can select the line you want to receipt and then click on receipt line. So now we're receiving the whole order, so receipt order. And here we're going to write a notation, all goods in order. Here we go. Here we can add the supplier's delivery note. For example's sake, let's just say this is the supplier's delivery note. Okay, and we're going to post. And here I'm going to search for bin location. And we're going to select. And here we're going to accept entry. The inventory online document will pop up on screen. Here you have the option to print, preview before you print, or even close. And this is for the second line item, and we're going to use the same details. So we're going to say accept entry. Again, we're going to close. And the third line item, and we're going to say accept entry, and we're going to close. And we're going to close. And now we're going to close the program, and our journal entry will pop up on the screen right there. So now we're going to receipt a single line in our purchase order. The steps are the same: purchase orders, purchase order processing, and purchase order receipts. And we're going to say no again. And here we're going to enter the purchase order, which is 407. And we're going to tap off, and we're going to say okay. As you can see, there are 2 line items. We only want to receipt for the first line. As you can see, it's already highlighted, and we're going to go to receipt line. And here we're going to enter our details. Again, here we're going to enter the supplier's delivery note, and for example's sake, let's say it's SS880. And again, here we can enter a notation, and we're going to say all goods in order. Okay, and we're going to select the bin location. We're going to scroll here, and I'm going to say select, and we're going to post. I'm going to say okay. Again, you have the option to print, preview, and close. And we're going to close. The quantity is now 0 because the quantity is now, as you can see on this line item, the quantity is now 0 because the stock has been receipted. And we're going to close the program, and our journal entry will pop up on the screen right there. So we're going to go to purchase orders, and we're going to go to purchase order processing, and we're going to go to purchase order receipts. Going to say no there, and here we're going to enter the purchase order. So 389, and we're going to tap off. We're going to say okay. So as you can see, there are 2 purchase order lines. What we're going to do is we're going to only cancel 1 line. In the previous tutorial, we canceled an order. So if you want to see that, please watch part 1 of the purchase order transaction processing. So for this tutorial, we're going to just cancel 1 line. So we're going to cancel the second one. So as you can see, it is highlighted, and we're going to go here on cancel line, and we're going to say okay. And there you have it, and that's how you cancel a line, and we're just going to close it. So we're going to go to purchase orders, and we're going to go to purchase order processing, and we're going to go to purchase order receipts. And we're going to say no, and we're going to enter the purchase order right here. So 442, and we're going to tap off. And we're going to say okay. As you can see, there are multiple purchase orders of the same stock code. So we're going to receive a single quantity for this purchase order. So we're going to go to a portion order. Here on receipt quantity, we have 500. That's not what we want to receipt. We want to receipt the entire purchase order, so 1,000. And here, for example's sake, let's say the supplier's delivery note is SS 3, 4, 6. We're going to tap off, and here we're going to enter the bin location, to select, and here we can enter the notation, goods received in order. And we're going to then post. Again, you have the option to print preview. However, for this example, we're going to close. And we're going to close again and close again and close. I'm going to close the program, and the journal entry will pop up on the screen right there. So we're going to go to purchase orders, purchase order processing, and we're going to go to purchase order receipts. We're going to say no, and here we're going to enter the purchase order. So 404, and we're going to tap off. I'm going to say okay. As you can see, there are no items here. So we're going to go to the selection criteria, and here we're going to select completed lines, and we're going to say okay. As you can see, the stock codes that we have receipted for this purchase order are populated on the screen with no quantities because we already receipted these quantities. Now we're doing a reversal. So we're going to select the stock code that we want to do a reversal for. So for this example, it's going to be A100. And we're going to go to receipt line. I'm going to say okay. So for stock code A100 for this purchase order, we receipted 500 quantities. So we want to reverse 5 of that 500. So we're going to enter -5, and we're going to tap off. We're going to tap off all the way to the GRN. So you can add your notation and supplier delivery note if you want to. So we're here at the GRN. We could either scroll for a GRN or enter a GRN. So we're going to scroll. And we're going to look for the GRN for this specific purchase order, which is 404. Okay. And there we have it. But we're also looking for one for this specific stock code. So we're going to select. Okay, and we're going to tap off, and here we're going to enter the bin location, select, and we're going to post. Yes, I'm going to say okay. Again, you have the options to print preview. For this example, we're going to close. We're going to say okay. And we're going to close here. And as you can see, the journal has populated on the screen right there. We have now reached the end of part 2 of the purchase order transaction processing. Please be sure to like, comment which videos you'd like to see next, subscribe, and be sure to hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on part 3. Thank you for watching this video.